Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Today we are doing a live stream talking about what's going on here in the regular market as global chaos is happening right now. World powers are having very in-depth conversations about a very real situation going on in the Middle East. Let's talk a little bit about how this actually ties into crypto for real. Today, crypto has officially made its way into the headlines with some of these Middle Eastern countries that are currently undergoing a very big conflict. So we got to talk a little bit about this and what the implications are for crypto. There's good, there's bad, there's in between. I'll leave that up to you. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to take a peek at what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's go over my Bitcoin prediction now, where we're at here in 2023, what I expect through the remainder of the year, and the risk we run of inflation and specifically interest rate hikes that could be coming. Might have a change in the tune from federal, Federal Chair Jerome Powell due to some of these conflicts going on. There are fears of interest rate hikes, guys, that we have to acknowledge. Some key data is coming out tomorrow. CPI data, the preferred metric to measure inflation for the Fed, is going to be getting released tomorrow. So there's some anticipation leading up to that, typically affecting crypto in a big way and the traditional markets. So things we're going to keep our eye on. We've got to take it a little story on, I think, FTX today and a couple other big topics happening here in the crypto world. Let's get into it, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Glad you could all join us today. This is the Crypto Report. If you like our content here, consider subscribing to the channel, but stick around a little bit and see what it's all about. Guys, today, the crypto markets are at a little bit lower levels than they were yesterday, 1.4% decrease over the last day. Can't talk this morning. Bitcoin currently at $27,000 and falling lower, which is very interesting, guys. Everybody at the beginning of the month of October was talking about this big, beautiful Uptober that we were expecting to have. September was supposed to be bearish. It was bullish. October was supposed to be bullish. It's still a little bullish, but falling bearish and with more scary things coming along. Guys, at the end of the day, this is going to be a long journey. If you're new to crypto, there are 4-year market cycles within this. There's some volatility, but bear cycles are brutal, and they're tricky. It's hard to anticipate a true bottom. Now, we still say that the true bottom has been formed for Bitcoin in this bear market, but that does not mean that we do not fall back down, and so it's something we got to acknowledge. The other important thing you got to remember, guys, is the Ethereum Foundation. One of the biggest bag holders of Ethereum sold a lot of Ethereum recently, and traditionally when they sell their Ethereum, it causes a massive sell-off on ETH, and that's exactly what we see. Just look at the last month. A month ago, we were up at $1,732. Today, we are at $1,569 at the time of this recording, with possibly more downside to go. And you'll see why I say that in just a second. Guys, I am not a bear. I am a bull on crypto, but I'm also a realist. I look at some other, I'll talk about like George, Cryptos R Us. He is fantastic. I love him. I think he gives great content. He's bullish every single day, no matter what, which is in a way a very smart approach. But I know there's some people that are looking at the short term and midterm, and I like to kind of give more of a realistic expectation on the short to midterm and saying it's okay if Bitcoin falls back down to $20,000. It's okay as long as you're not getting liquidated in a leverage trade, which is one thing I certainly agree with George from Cryptos R Us. But I also want to acknowledge the potential threat of downsides. For example, BNB. I don't see a lot of people talking about the fact that BNB is sitting on an absolute cliff right now. Looking at the chart here, if this thing falls down below some of these other levels, you could see a $40-something Binance token, which would be crazy. And we've got some Binance FUD to talk about. Binance getting pulled into this Middle Eastern conflict in some capacity. We'll talk about that in a little bit. XRP currently down below 50 cents, exactly as we predicted when XRP had a great outcome with the court case where the judge basically said, hey, ain't a security. This thing bumped up to 80 cents. We said it's coming back down. I still think it comes down to 30 cents. Just watch and see, guys. It could certainly happen. There's no guarantees there. This is not financial advice, but again, I like to try to keep my most realistic expectations on these projects, guys. Now, there's a lot of great projects. Solana is another great one, down 3.15%. Had a big boost as Bitcoin made its way back up from $25,000 recently, but as Bitcoin's tumbling down, this is flatlining as anticipated. Bitcoin is the star of the show, and if you don't know it, well, now you do. Cardano is obviously a big project everybody likes to talk about with Charles Hodgkinson, one of the previous founders and developers for Ethereum, split off, created Cardano. A big competitor to Ethereum, in case you didn't know it. Probably going to be a great token in the next bull run, but again, just like other altcoins, Crocoin, everything included, not doing anything crazy. Dogecoin, Elon Musk's Dogcoin, probably getting integrated into the X app, down 3.5%. So you see what's going on in these markets, guys. Nothing very exciting. As for Crow, down below 5 cents. I think we can get down to 3.3 cents. My partner on the channel, maxi, says that, hey, this thing can get down to like 4.5 cents, I think, at the lowest. Let me know what you guys think. Is 3 cents or 4 cents going to be more, 3.3 cents specifically, or 4.5 cents going to be a more realistic target in your mind? Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, guys, there's a lot of other projects in crypto, hundreds, if not thousands. In fact, if you go up to the top of CoinMarketCap, you will see there are currently 1.8 million different cryptos out there, okay? Now, a lot of these are terrible projects, but you look at the top 100, generally, there's some really great plays in here. Top 200, I'm sure there's going to be things that creep up into the top 100, but to try to predict those things at this point is gambling, and we don't want to promote gambling. Gambling can be fun, but gambling is a good way to risk the money you work very hard for. A lot of people are working 9 to 5s. The average American has a very little amount of money in their bank account. They're living paycheck to paycheck in a way that we haven't seen in a while. And our country's in a weird spot. And so, protect your money, guys. I think buying Bitcoin's a great way to do it personally, buying Ethereum. But in a bear market, when altcoins are kind of in limbo, right, and Bitcoin's not really sure if it wants to go up or down yet, buying altcoins can be extremely risky. Now, when a bull market comes, altcoins can be the most rewarding, absolutely by far, which is why we talk about CRO and some of these other projects we're so bullish on the channel. We got some Caspa fans in the chat for good reason, because that thing was pumping. Taking a peek at Caspa really quick for those of you out there that like Caspa. Not Ethereum, I don't know what this is. Let's go to Caspa. You can see this thing was performing wildly over the last year, up in a big way, but now kind of tried to break out to new all-time highs recently and tumbled down in October so far, and just really not breaking out to new all-time highs yet. Could it? Certainly. Who knows? Another Ethereum competitor, in a sense. Definitely had a lot of growth. Like I said, things can come up from the lower market cap plays and move up into the top 10, top 20, top 50. You never know, and so you keep your eye on all of it, guys. But at the end of the day, I like to focus on Bitcoin. Jim Cramer also likes to focus on Bitcoin. So the title of this video and the thumbnail you see is Bitcoin Bottom Signal. Everybody's talking about Jim Cramer today, and let's look at what Jim Cramer said recently.
Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big.
Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big.
I just can't get on I can't be in something where Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. I just can't get on
What a guy. So this guy, traditionally, he says jump, you would want to duck. He says go left, you'd want to go right. Now, I got to say, guys, though, typically people like to point to this as a bottom signal for Bitcoin. If he says it's going down, then that means it's going up. I'm kind of siding with Jim Cramer here. My prediction for 2023, guys, is that, sure, maybe we can go back up to 30K, but I don't know if we go back up to 31 or 32K necessarily before the end of the year. Is it possible? Of course, especially if a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved. And even in that, you see a spot Bitcoin ETF getting approved, guys. We've talked about this. You look historically at the Bitcoin futures ETF and the Ethereum futures ETF. You'd think those are going to be bullish events because that's like institutions getting into crypto, right? Both of those events, guys, turned out to be bearish, actually. Actually, the 20 and in 20, I think it was 2018, when the spot Bitcoin ETF, when the futures Bitcoin ETF was approved, Bitcoin crashed in a big way. So though those could be bullish things, and people are pointing to those as bullish things, and those could be events that get us back up, moving higher into the 40,000s, as we've talked about potentially being the case. I don't personally think that's going to happen right now. Now, Black C and I, we have differing opinions on this because we're just human and everybody's got the right to their own opinion. You got to do your own research. So you get multiple perspectives here on the channel. And I think that's a good thing if you're a viewer and you hear us saying two different things. you can look at that as a good thing. And frankly, if you just follow one influencer, or if you just follow one news channel, or you just follow, one network, then you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're trying to vote in a presidential election, for example, you better watch Fox, MSNBC, CNN, you name it, all of it, every single thing. And you better look on Twitter, and you better look on YouTube. And then maybe somewhere in there, you can formulate some kind of opinion that you can actually believe, right? But everybody's going to have a different opinion. Typically, when Jim Cramer says Bitcoin's going down, it could go up. So there's a possibility there. But let's look at some of the other stories here that make me, a little bit more bearish in the short term and midterm for Bitcoin, at least in October, November, and December. Now, first of all, September was supposed to be bearish. It was bullish. That's strange. Can more strange things happen? Absolutely. You can't predict Bitcoin. If you say you know exactly what's going to happen with Bitcoin, then you're a liar. I'll never predict that I know exactly what's going to happen with Bitcoin. I try to take some ideas, put them together, and come up with a hypothesis of what may happen with Bitcoin, and likely something different in some capacity will happen. Sometimes we hit some targets. Sometimes we make some right calls. For example, I was wrong about September. I said it was going to be bearish because I looked at the history of September. I said, makes sense. Also, I was corresponding that with the Fed inflation rate hikes and what we've got going on there to battle inflation. It looked like we were going in a positive direction. But some reason, September turned bullish. And now October, which is typically very bullish, is trending bearish. Still up 1.2%, which is good to see. But historically, we've had some massive gains in October. Now, could October still be a thing? Absolutely. But does it have to be? No, not at all. November's pretty mixed. You get some big down months and some big green months in November. And December is actually a little bit mixed as well. So you really don't know what's coming next, guys. But we can look at some of the warning signs. And I think one of the best ways to do it is just peeking at the chart. Just peeking at the chart for BTC, guys. So what I want you to notice is we kind of have some lower highs happening here ever since July. And so you kind of get this spike up and we break back down, and you get a spike up to another key level and we break back down. We're just missing some of these. Look at this. Spiking up, can't get to that level, break back down. Spiking up, can't close to that level, get back down. Break down below these levels, test them, go back up, fake out, break down below this level. I still think that this $20,000 BTC is on the table. If so, altcoins are going to get wrecked, guys. Altcoins are going to get wrecked, and great buying opportunities will be out in front of you. I'm not a bear. I'm a big bull on crypto. But again, let's be realistic about the possibilities in the short and midterm. Anything could happen, guys. And don't forget, there's war happening right now, which is insane right now. Big question mark on what happens with Bitcoin. But remember, Ethereum Foundation selling off. Bitcoin already had a tremendous year. And typically we see, out of a bear market, we see a bull rally and then one more dip. Could that dip be coming? Could this have been that bull rally? And could we get that one more dip? Absolutely. It's certainly possible. When? Nobody can tell you exactly when. But I think there's a case to be made that maybe Bitcoin topped out for the year 2023. Let me know what you think of that opinion in the comments down below. In terms of the traditional market, guys, S&P 500 up again for the third or now fourth day in a row. We'll peek at it here in a second, but very interesting to see now what is going to happen with Federal Chair Jerome Powell, the man that makes the decisions with the Board of Governors around the FOMC meeting, which is coming up in November. Again, guys, there is CPI data that is getting released tomorrow. That is one of the key metrics that the Fed uses to measure inflation. If that data is good, maybe they won't raise rates. If that data is not so good and they need to continue to fight inflation, then more interest rate hikes are coming, which I just put in an offer on a house. I'm closing on November 13th. I secured a 7.19% interest rate. Tough. Historically, not as high as we've seen it. When my parents were kids, I think it was like 15% was a common interest rate you'd get. Historically, they've been low over the last decade, down to 2% ever since the 2008 financial crisis. Really, things kind of corrected themselves. Interest rates got really low again. And now it kind of creeped back up because obviously inflation is a big problem due to not only the pandemic, but some of the conflicts that have been going on across the sea, supply chain issues, and a variety of other issues, not to mention the magical money printer that we keep turning back on. And guys, we might have to turn that money printer back on yet again, which leaves me confused. If inflation is about to get worse because we're going to turn on that magical money printer again, which is the reason you should like Bitcoin more than the US dollar, than fiat currencies, is because now we're at a risk of more inflation for the US dollar, and Bitcoin's only going to get more deflationary. The lowest amount of Bitcoin historically, it's almost to the low, is on exchanges right now, which means everybody's buying it up. And as it gets more scarce and a Bitcoin halving comes, there's going to be a supply shock event, which is going to drive Bitcoin up. Now, why the S&P 500 is rallying when there's war going on and when there's fear of the money printer going back on makes no sense to me. Maybe people think money printer's going back up, so, I guess we're going to have more money in our pockets, or businesses are going to have more money. I don't know what the thought behind that is, guys, but I'm shocked to see from the day that this conflict broke out in the Middle East, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 big green candles in a row. Again, opposite of the prediction that I had, which is why whenever I give you guys an idea of what might be coming, it might be coming and it might not be. I did a video, I think 4 days ago or 3 days ago, saying Black Swan event, this conflict. I did it on Sunday. It could be a big sell-off. Now, for Bitcoin, it turned to be a sell-off. For the S&P 500, for some reason, it's going up, and so are other stocks in a big, big way right now. Why? Very confusing. Doesn't make any sense to me. Everybody I've talked to about it, no idea. Right now, you have President Biden coming out, making comments about how the U.S. stands with Israel, and so this conflict is going to go into some of the bigger world powers. And now, so it's going to be interesting to see which world powers align with which group in the Middle East and how this all plays out. These are big question marks on what happens, not only with human lives here in this terrible conflict that's going on, but what happens with the global economy. People are talking about World War III. Is that something that's on the table? Again, more question marks that we don't have the answers to. But Binance is becoming a part of the conversation when it comes to this conflict breaking out now, which is insane. Recently, we've seen a lot of FUD like this. Binance braces as Brazil urges crypto scam indictments. Binance this, Binance that, Binance FUD here, Binance FUD there, getting sued by the SEC, getting sued by the DOJ, charges dropped by the DOJ. Wait, no, they're not. All over the place. CZ just does this constant ignore the FUD, fake news, and attacks. And so he's just staying true to that. But now, here's another one. Big headline, and this is actually crazy. So people are saying, media is saying, this is the headline, dark money, crypto's dark money. Cryptocurrency fueled Hamas war machine. Now, to a point, there's some truth here, guys. Bitcoin and Tether funneled millions of dollars to terror groups. That's a bad headline, okay? But Bitcoin and Tether were funneled to some terror groups, allegedly. I don't have any proof of this. This is what the headlines are reading. Historically, we've seen North Korea using their hacker group, Lazar, one of the big North Korean hacker groups, to fund their nuclear missile program using cryptocurrencies. Guys, at the end of the day, they're going to use other world powers like China and Iran to fund whatever they need to fund. They're going to use their allies. And so whether they're getting funded through crypto or through cash or briefcases of cash, whether it's the presidential administration here in the U.S., regardless of what party it is, supporting this group, that group, whether it's China or Iran or Russia supporting this or that, money's going to find its way to these people. And so, unfortunately, this paints crypto in a bad light in fueling wars, regardless of which side of the war you're on. It shows that cryptocurrency is being used to fuel the war. We've seen also stories about China and the fentanyl trade being used with cryptocurrency transactions as well. And so there's clearly a conversation that wants to paint crypto in a bad light with this. You can look at the positives. There's been crypto aid that has happened, whether you support one side or the other. And I don't want to get into that in any capacity here on the channel, but crypto aid is actually, something that anybody can use at any time. Just as another example, we look at the truckers that were protesting, whether you agree with them or not, in Canada. We've talked several times about how they needed to raise funds to keep their protests going. So this is a way to, yes, there's freedoms, but are there ways that bad things can happen with this freedom of transaction of money? Sure. But I would also like to argue that, we will see that no matter if there's crypto or cash, the money's going to find its way into the people's hands that want to do whatever they're going to do, whether they want to raise money, whether they want to start a war. That's how this works, guys. That's how it's always worked. Wars have happened. Wars will seemingly always happen. Hopefully one day we can have world peace where there's a will, there's a way, though. So yeah, China probably used crypto in their fentanyl trade. And sure, you see North Korea funding their nuclear weapons program, probably with stolen crypto transactions. And again, none of this is provable at this point, at least, to the public. You see intelligence agencies saying this or that. You'd like to think that you could take our intelligence agency's word for it. But it's a weird time, guys. It's a weird time, and it's hard to believe anybody in the media on anything right now. And really, the best thing I can think of is opting out of the entire system and buying Bitcoin. Now, buying altcoins is risky, as you can see. Crocoin still looking to fall down. I believe in the 3.3 cent. I'm curious what you guys said in the chat about my question earlier, if you're looking at 3.3 cents or 4.5 cents. I'll be looking at the comments here, and we'll do a Q&A at the end of the stream. Make sure you guys throw some questions at me in the stream. I want this to be very much a conversation, and we'll do kind of a Q&A here at the end of this. But Crocoin falling down, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Ethereum's falling down versus Bitcoin in a big, big way right now, which is crazy. Again, Ethereum Foundation sold off a lot of ETH. Bitcoin versus the dollar on an edge, on the cliff. We talked about it earlier. Potential 76% crash for Binance. Does it happen? I don't know, but it's falling down versus Bitcoin right now, seemingly making lower lows. I mean, we had a big wick down. At least for the last, year, this was a very interesting low for Binance to hit versus Bitcoin, which we expect because Bitcoin dominance will continue to climb, in my opinion, guys. It should continue to climb. And with that, we will see altcoins falling down as Bitcoin goes up faster. That's really all this means, guys. That's really all this means. A lot going on in the world. A lot going on in the world indeed right now, guys. Let's see what's going on. Let's do a little Q&A, folks. Let's do a little Q&A. Let's see what's happening here. All right. So, thanks, Tej. I appreciate it. You like his energy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate you guys showing up and supporting the channel. We got 9 likes, 23 viewers. If you want to tap that like button and show some love, cheers to you. Sipping my morning coffee. Let's talk a little bit. Let's do a little Q&A. What's going on, guys? What are we thinking? What are we buying? What are we selling? Are we buying? Are we selling? Are we bullish on Bitcoin, or are we going to sell off in a panic? Let me know what you guys think. I'm not selling off. Benny Blue Eyes, been a crypto reporter for 8 months. If you guys want to be a crypto reporter, a loyal member to the channel like Benny Blue Eyes, and have a chance of becoming a moderator like Benny, all you got to do is join us in the link in the description down below. You can join us as a member. And we are going to be doing a $500 monthly giveaway to one lucky member every single month when we hit 50 members on the channel. We're currently at about 22 members, so we got a little ways to go, but promise you guys that we are going to do that. I'm very excited. We've done a lot of giveaways in the past, and we want more coming. Benny Blue Eyes says, happy 8-month member to Annie. Oh, celebrating Annie. Yes. I love it. More members, the merrier. Glad to have y'all join us. Tej says, I've been chilling at GFALT Crypto Kit for ages now. Wish he would listen. Oh, Tej. I didn't see it, my brother. Let's see what's going on. You've been here for so long, and I know you're not a shill. So careful with that word, but let me peek at it. I'm not gonna share the screen, but I'm gonna look at GFAL. Games for a living. Games for a living. All-time chart. Ben going up. Let's see here. I'm peeking at this. So it has been going up, which is interesting. Now, this is a coin just at a glance, and I'm not pulling the screen up right now, but it's on PancakeSwap, really is the biggest one. So a big thing for a low coin like this is you need to see major exchange listings. PancakeSwap's big, but Major exchange listings are going to be vital. Interesting token to lock in. I'm not really into a lot of these low cap alts right now, to be honest with you, Ches, because of the reason that I said earlier is I believe that the Bitcoin bull cycle is coming, and as this bear cycle winds down, altcoins are going to continue to fall against BTC. And yeah, I think we'll have good accumulation opportunities, but it's still a little too soon to be pulling big triggers on altcoins, in my opinion. That's not financial advice, but that's the truth from my heart to you, because I love you, because I love y'all. Yeah, I'll check the background out. I'll check it out, Tej. I'll check it out. Absolutely, because I think, Web3 games are going to be huge, and that seems like a Web3 gameplay. So, we can peek at it. But Tess says, yeah, we're still sideways as heck. Absolutely. We are very, very sideways. What else is going on? What else is going on? People are buying Quant. They're buying Caspa. You think the bull run, the APY of the visas will stay the same? In the bull run, the APYs of the visas will go up. Crypto.com will increase the rewards for their programs when the bull run comes because more people are going to be in the market, more transaction fees are going to be made, their coins are going to be going up, and as they make more money, they're going to want to reward the users so that they draw more users in, and it's a good marketing effort. If you can afford it, reward your followers greatly, which is exactly what we want to do here. If you support us on this channel, we're doing that $500 a month giveaway for lucky member as soon as we hit 50 members, but it has to make sense for us also financially. That just makes sense. Give back to your community if they support you. That is a beautiful thing. That's exactly the belief that we have here at the channel. Yes, bro, you know me. All I got is Crow, Doge, and I entered GFAL at once. So you got Crow, Doge, Tej. No Bitcoin? No Bitcoin, Tej? I want to know, Tej. I won't judge you. Maybe a little. Only because I love you. Only because I love you, brother. Last stream, I was talking about positivity, gratitude, communication. These are 3 words that I like to live by. And if I can have anybody out there that listens to these streams and loves crypto and wants to improve their lives and create generational wealth for themselves and make themselves the best person that they can be and work hard and achieve their goals, if I can do that, I want to remind you guys constantly. Gratitude, positivity, and communication. 3 essential things. 3 things that if you think about those on a regular basis every single day are going to give you the energy you need to achieve your goals, accomplish your dreams, and really follow a vision. And if you have a vision, if you can visualize it, you can make it happen, guys. If you can visualize it, you can make it happen. That's what we've done here with the channel. We've been visualizing this, me and my partner Black Sea, for years. We made this thing happen. We're growing. It's tremendous. We love it. We absolutely love doing this. We've enjoyed the channel growing. We greatly appreciate your support. But you have to visualize it. We thought through for so many years, what's this going to look like, talked about it, but eventually we got up and we acted on it and we made it happen. And that's what we do with crypto. You want to buy the dip? We'll get up, buy the dip, and build that back so you can create generational wealth for your family. You want to create a YouTube channel? Get up, start recording, and improve your content. Look back to our old thumbnails. They get better and better and better. You want to learn more about crypto? Do more and more research. Turn on your notification bell, subscribe to some influencers, look at some news publications, do the research. Stay positive. Make sure you're open to communication. Make sure you're open to hearing from other people. Tej is telling me to check out this G project. I'm open to checking it out. I didn't see his comments before, but I'm open to looking into new things. I'm open-minded. If we keep our open mind and we keep a positive mentality, and we're grateful for other people and a variety of opinions on Earth, you're going to be better off at the end of the day. I truly believe that. I truly believe that, guys. Crypto Kip, if there is only about $40 billion worth of BTC left on exchanges, what stops the big conglomerate or country from buying it all up? That's a drop in the bucket for them. The truth is that these big companies or countries would not buy it off the exchanges. If they did, the price of Bitcoin would go up wildly. The truth is that in order for the price of Bitcoin, in order for this Bitcoin to be bought up, it's going to have to be retail investors. Retail investors buying it on the open market from these exchanges and buying it up. And in the meantime, the exchanges just buy it from the miners, essentially. It's a lot of over-the-counter deals. These big purchases, Michael Saylor, when he buys, that's over-the-counter deals. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to an exchange, looking at an order book and placing an order if I'm Michael Saylor. It means I've got, I'm an exchange. I've got this Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor says, I'm going to give you, this money for this Bitcoin, okay? And they just come up with a price and they make a purchase. This isn't on the market. When Michael Saylor buys Bitcoin, Bitcoin doesn't go up per se. Sometimes it does on the news hype around it, usually only in bull cycles. But, that's kind of the answer to that. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, Caspa Cash. Crowbro says you still need some blue chips. I agree. You need Bitcoin, you need ETH, in my opinion, but that's where it's at. Caspa says we're all different investors, so naturally we all have different picks. It's all good. It is all good. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, period. No matter how big or how small the issue, you are entitled to your own opinion. Other people might think you're right. Other people might think you're wrong. At the end of the day, if you feel like you did the research and you did the research and you made a decision, I support your decision. You might be wrong, but if you're wrong, heck, you're going to learn the lesson. You're going to feel the pain of having been wrong. And then in the future, you're going to know the warning signs of what to look out for and why you might have been wrong in the past. And that doesn't matter if that's on a political belief. That doesn't matter if that's on a investment strategy, right? I've been wrong in the past. In the first bull market, I was like all in on Neo token like a dummy. And not to say Neo's a bad token, but it was a bad play and I didn't take a lot of profit. And my first bull run didn't go so great. At times it did. I made a lot of money, but then I didn't do as well as I could have done. Second bull market, I did tremendously better. So much better. Did I still make mistakes? Absolutely. Did I sell off some ETH or some Bitcoin at a time for some other altcoins that didn't in the end perform as good as Bitcoin and Ethereum? Absolutely. And this is why we talk about you need the blue chips. These are the lessons that I learned. I tell you guys about the lessons that I learned because I want you to learn from my mistakes if you can. I'm not a financial advisor. You have to do your own research. And if you feel like you did your own research and you propped up your own opinion, then I celebrate you and I back you up. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay to make a mistake, guys. It hurts. You pick yourself back up and you keep moving and you keep improving yourself, guys. At the end of the day, hard to say exactly what's going to happen with these markets, but we're going to keep coming with the news every single day for you guys because that's what we're dedicated to doing here at the channel, an unbiased, unfiltered opinion on how we feel about crypto, guys, and really everything else that's going on because it's crazy time. Folks, we got 14 likes and 15 viewers, so we're right on track, I guess. It's a lower view. Crypto community is a little lower right now. If I don't put a crow coin on the thumbnail, we don't get as many views, but I don't really care. We love Crow. I got a lot of Crow. But we need to educate people on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and any other token out there, whether it's Caspa or whether it's whatever it might be. We're going to talk about it all, whether it's Crowcoin, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Pepe. We're going to talk about it all. Bencoin's looking tricky right now. Ben Armstrong went through a lot. PSYOP, we talked about. PSYOP's looking tricky right now. Ben.eth says it's going well. People on Twitter say it's going terrible. It just flash crashed to a low. A lot of things going on. It's a bear market. A lot of lessons to learn, folks. But again, I'm going to keep coming at you with everything I got every single day. 5 videos every single day with my partner on the channel, Black Sea. Just a heads up, I'm going on vacation, guys. My last trip of the year. I was fortunate to take 2 trips this year. I'm going out to Mexico with my family. Starting Friday, so no live streams for me next week. Starting Friday, and Black Sea may or may not be doing those. We'll see how that goes. But we will keep the crypto content coming, and I will be doing some live stream. Well, not live streams. I'll be doing some videos for you from the beach, just with little updates for you, just to keep you in the know if there's any breaking news, because that's what we like to do here. I'm dedicated to the cause, and I know anybody here in the chat is dedicated to the cause as well. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. That's all I got for you in this one. I am Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Don't forget to smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more crypto content. And as always, folks, you got to remember to DCA, HODL, And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you next time. Peace.